I've had a couple of students ask me today about the Popplet task. So the first thing to do is to check that you've done this making observations task first, where you're just comparing two organisms, because I think that's going to prepare you with some of the sorts of ideas that you need when you think about lots of different organisms. So this one you do in a journal, which will be a Google Doc. So you come down here, grouping organisms. This is where you're actually comparing several different organisms and putting them into groups on the basis of what you decide about them. Now if you click bird, you'll get this button come up here, download bird classification. If you click marine, you'll get one that says download marine classification. And you will also have a wildcard organism, so this is the bird one here, and it's a warbler. So when I clicked that button there, I got to this document which has photos of several different birds and a brief paragraph of information underneath them, and it just opened in a new tab. When I went to the marine one, I clicked download marine classification. It didn't open in a new tab, it downloaded and it opened in Word. I also thought that some of the pages were blank at first. I got 2 pages of pictures and I got 2, I thought, blank pages. So I thought I'd kind of got to the end there, but then the pictures loaded later, and then I realised that down after what had appeared to be blank pages was the information. Okay, so you've got the name of the organism, they're pretty much in the same order as the photographs, and a sentence or two about them. So not a whole lot of information. So you're going to have to look for information about the wildcard organism anyway, because you've only got a picture and a name, sandhopper there in the small writing. You may want to look for extra information about the other organisms on the sheet in each case. So when you've decided you know a bit about them, you come over to Popplet and you're going to decide how to organise them. Now you might make a popple, and I think you double click to make a popple. Yep, you might make a popple per organism and then think, how can I link them? Or you might think, oh, there's a category here that keeps popping up in the information. I'll make a popple about that category and I'll add what I know about the organisms around it. So with the birds, there's quite a lot of information about what they eat. So I could put here food or diet, up to you what you call them. And then if I click on these, I get a new popple quite easily and automatically. Except the one above, which tends not to work, I find. So you have to drag that one to get a new one. I'm not sure what's up with that. And I don't think there's a way to make... Oh, yep. So if you just click again, you get another one. And then I'd need to connect that with connectors. Now this is getting messy. Okay, so that's joined to that one, but that's joined to that one, and that's not joined to that one. So yeah, you're going to have some fun and games here, folks, and I'm going to accept that you were a normal human like me and not everything you tried worked. I'm thinking there has to be a way to join this to that. Yeah, okay, we did it, right? Okay, so you can join more than 4 to your initial one. It just gets tricky. So I could decide, I've got over here birds that eat insects. I've got over here birds that eat worms, because they're not actually insects, and it seems that some birds eat both and some just eat one or the other of these things. I could have here birds that eat nectar. I could have, oh, go there, could have over here birds that eat leaves, because some birds do that. And I could have over here birds that eat berries. and I wonder if I can rearrange that. Yeah. Okay. So what I want to do is connect that there. Yep, it worked. What was I thinking? Seeds. And you might come up with some other categories. And then you've got infinite zoom. So you can fit in as much around that as you need to. Well, not infinite, but more zoom than you probably need. Okay, come back, all is forgiven. Okay, so I could go around there with more of these. I could now change the colour. I could decide, oh, that's my starting one, so it definitely needs to be some other colour. Red. Oh, that was my background. I don't like that. Anyway, there is a way to change the colour of these things. And it's in that introduction thingy that you've got a link to from here. When it first tells you go to Popplet, there's an introduction. Okay, tells you what to do. It's all little animations. Change a popple's colour. Win? Okay, can I get back to my one? This one here. Let's make it blue. That's not very blue, guys. Is it going to last? Yes. Okay, so then if I had examples around here in popples, I might want a different colour, or I can do it another way. They don't always delete when you try to delete them, but that one did. There are comments, and the other thing disappears when I look at the comments, which is a drawback, but I seem to be able to fit a lot more around it, which is a plus. So I could put here that Kiruru eat leaves, especially in winter. Because I read that in a book years ago and I hope I'm remembering it correctly. Okay, and you see as soon as you've written one comment it moves over and you've got a new comment space. And then I could find another bird that ate leaves, or I could find a reference for that information. I could see if I can still find it online. I could put the link in there and so on. So then I go back to main and it shows me that I've got a little comment for that one, and if I did it right it saves. You've got to click add this comment or it doesn't save, and then they come up blank, and that's so annoying. So just keep layering it up like that. You might want both a food one and a flocking behaviour one for the birds, because it's got like whether they're in flocks or pairs or solitary. So they don't need to connect to each other. You can just zoom out a weeny bit and think, right, I'm going to start again over here, and I'm going to have a groups one, and my options might be flocks and solitary and pairs. We'll do the sideways ones because they're easy to make. Solitary means they tend to be alone. Yes, it moves over automatically. I like that. Pairs. Can I move it back? Yep, just drag. Okay. And in the end you're going to need to share this back to Ottle, and you've got a share button here, and you may not want to make it public, it's up to you. If you go here you get the link. Okay, so you go okay, let me share it, and you just copy that and paste it into Ottle, okay, or into our discussion thing. There's a word for those, Hangouts. I know it. Okay, so that's all you need to know, I hope.